Okay, I got another question. What's the craziest date you ever been on?
Oh,
I gotta make it a little spicy.
right. I would say that pretty much one of the crazy situations what I've been in where I met this woman and everything else from a basketball game. It was at the Hawks game. We got to talk a little bit furthermore, like a week later and everything else. As we got to talk a little bit over the phone and everything else, she got a little comfortable. She met me over at the loft at my studio as far as what I had over there downtown towards going towards on Piedmont downtown. She came over there, we kicked it off. And I went to her location and everything else as well. But as we started, progressing in the relationship as far as talking a little bit furthermore, we went out on a particular date. When it went to the Luminarium and everything else, and when she went to the Luminarium and everything and all, her husband showed up.
Oh! She was married.
Right, she was married.
What's going on? See, everything that the men was doing, women are doing now.
Well, I mean,
This is crazy.
you
So
know, like
how
I
did
said,
how did you
it
get
goes
yourself
from
out of that situation?
I got a situation on it. I mean, I have pose. I'm not threatening to people and everything else. And as the guy walked up towards me and everything else, whatever, and we was out dating and all, and he was just pretty much saying like, hey, you dating my woman. He was all mad and upset. I was like, hey, I ain't know nothing about this.
Right.
Man, bro, I show respect, whatever it is. He said, you don't respect me. I'm like, I ain't know nothing about this situation.
it would be different if you knew she was married, but you didn't know.
So
she
then,
bamboozled you.
I think the guy at the time, he's taller than me. So as I'm looking at him, he looking at me. I'm like, bro, I'm not about that action, all that, but I can be about that action.
Right.
But saying this or whatever it is, he was like being all loud and upset. I said, you don't have to yell and holler.
You should have been mad at her. That had nothing to do with you.
So two things happen when it comes to us man to man. They get threatened on certain things by the way you dress and way you look and all that, and they feel as if that you got something more than them.
Right.
So I had to, ease up the conversation to let him know, say, hey, I get that you're upset in the same sense. We can be all mad, but that's not the case. We come from, different things, but we come from, man and woman. So let's respect each other, whatever this place. I said, and I humbly us and I respect, and I will back away from this situation. What you have to y'all fix up to all this. He called me all kinds of words and all that. I said, I get that. You can call me all kinds of words, and I understand that you hurt, but at the same sense, I don't know what you got going on with her, what you've done and what you had, but that's not me. I'm not a relationship advice guy, what I'm saying, whatever it is. I'm not a counselor. So, and then when he realized who I was as far as in the conversation, I'm like, look, man, at the end of the day, I'm going to walk home, I'm going to go home. You going to go home, you going to go home with her. Y'all got to make that determination. So as we got to talking a bit furthermore, whatever it is, come to find out, when they went through a divorce, me and him became the best friends.
Wow.
Right.
I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
Wow.
So he has like a tire shop. He has a tire shop business.
He in Alabama or Atlanta?
He's in Atlanta.
Okay.
So from the time being, he was like, dang, you cool. You know what I'm saying? You cool peeps and all that, whatever, everything else and all. But I never judged a book by its cover. I was just placed in a position, whatever it is. I just seen her out. I asked her as far as, I thought she was attractive and she got my number and we just went from that and everything else and all. And then she went to my place. I went to her place. We went out, and she didn't tell the truth as far as that she was being married, and they're no longer married. But
wow, and now y'all have a relationship, and she's out the picture.
Right. So
and she should be, because that was foul.
Right. So I mean, I understand that he's upset, but I never carried myself in a position to be a point of interest as far as being mad at him to do something. I wasn't a threat to him, and I told him, I'm like, I get it. Sometimes, as friends, as men, we have to understand and say that. We come as brotherhood. We never know what can happen, what the situation might be, but at the same sense, we could tend to understand and aid those things. Because at the end of the day, like I told him, your homeboys could have been hitting your girl.
Yeah, she sounds like she's a little loose, a little wild.
That was one of the wildest
situations.
situations.
Well, y'all heard it here from Brandon. Comment down below. How would y'all would have acted in that situation?